Delaware in the building. Y'all ain't ready for the Delaware takeover. Y'all not ready for this unique style and creativity that everybody in the world wants to see. Nas and Jay is bringing it, and everything they bring got that Delaware swag.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
We are restarting the show. Hopefully the intro ran well.
Hold on, let me check.
There was a significant problem with the audio earlier.
Okay, it works.
We are rocking now. We apologize for that.
There were so many good jokes.
But we can retell them.
No, I've lost my steam. Curse you, solar eclipse.
Dang you, solar eclipse. We are back and we are rocking and rolling. Let's because no one heard what we said. So, boom, let's go.
All right, hold on, because now I got to reshare it and I got to center myself. So, welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
On this solar eclipse Monday, April 8th, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. We had a really significant week over the weekend. So, we're going to, number one, talk about the eclipse. Obviously, there's some funny things to say about that.
Yes.
It's Autism Awareness Month, which
yes.
is a significant thing. There was the WRESTLEMANIA up in Philly. And yeah, we have our goggles that I can't find anymore. I'm just going to start by saying, again, like we did at the beginning of the Mistaken show, the one event that we want to make sure that we promote this week is the powwow. So get to the art museum this Saturday morning or just Saturday, and I will be there for sure to take some pictures in the beginning. Naj and I have to head up to Philly later to do a show, but we will be there, and we love the fact that the art museum being spearheaded by regarding this event is bringing up indigenous culture that isn't as well pronounced, I guess you could say, in Newcastle County. You know, a lot of the indigenous people, the Nanticokes, are in Lewis. We're everywhere because I have Nanticoke genes, and there are plenty of Native Americans who live here, but it's not, you know, such an obvious part of our day-to-day culture. So the fact that it's being brought up from Sussex County to us is a significant, beautiful thing. This is the third year of it. So come out and really immerse yourselves in authentic indigenous culture, and as we say every year, still here. And I wanted to say this, now that we're kind of redoing this, the more that I consider that whole still here phrase, the more significant it is to me. I'm going to go slightly off topic, and it's really interesting to me. So if you know, if you follow any of the UFC, there's a really terrifying fighter, Alex Pereira, who has had a few fights with Adesanya. And when I'm telling you, he is like, if you think of the movie, when we talk about the eclipse and Apocalypto and all of the way that those people looked in that film, it's like if you could take that look but make it even taller and stronger, and literally he can trace his roots back to the Amazon in the jungle. He is the ultimate like representation of that still being here in a wildly supreme form. The guy is a monstrous, scary man who also seems to be really funny and kind of a gentle guy day to day. So, you know, I think that there's a misconception that like Native Americans have just completely disappeared. And there was, you know, a significant genocide caused by this country literally trying to exterminate indigenous people, and it failed. Thank God. You know, it's not as significant as it should be, but we're still here significantly, much more than you might realize, and I'll leave it there. So get to the powwow to experience that. Yeah.
That's this Saturday.
Yes.
So let me do my proper intro so that I can reset.
Yes.
I finally reset. Welcome to your morning sip of local news, what's happening, and
real world mess. That's why we needed to reset. Nobody.
Slow clap.
Bam. Real world mess.
That's what I'm talking
Now
about.
we're rocking and rolling. I feel like we've eclipsed this problem. Yeah.
I'm about tired of the eclipse talk. I'm gonna be honest. I'm about to, because it ain't going. Is it going to give me some money?
You want to hear something funny?
What?
I won't say where, but there have been complaints within a certain school district about the fact that high school students aren't being given the goggles because they're dismissed in this district before prime time for the eclipse. And people are upset that their high school students aren't going to be able to get the same glasses and experience that like the younger kids are. High school kids don't give a crap about the ding dang eclipse. I remember what I was like in high school, and what I wanted to do was get to practice and get home and get to my video games.
I didn't want to go to school.
So there might be like a handful of high school kids who are seriously interested in seeing it, and the other ones are like,
some glasses.
Give them, but please. But there's nothing to be upset about because them kids don't care. My kids.
This is from October 14th, 2023.
Yeah, because there was one last year.
There was?
There was something.
Oh.
And yeah, but my kids have those, so I kept them.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You sure these are the right ones?
Yes.
All right. Make sure you listen back to this episode on Thursdays and Saturdays on WJVSradio.com. And, Delaware's.
Yeah, you literally can't see anything through these glasses. They're black, pitch black.
They really are. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Delaware's own Grown Folks Radio. And make sure you go download the app. Go to your app store and type in WJVS Radio and pull it up. And you can hear all of the amazing things that are happening on the radio show.
Yeah.
It is Autism Awareness Month. And as y'all know, my son is autistic and he is doing very well. Before we were rudely interrupted by the fact that we had no sound. I was talking about.
I mean, it's weird. Like, we're really going to have to get that producer and like wring his neck for not even plugging in the sound device. Like, listen, we spend a lot of good money. You're fired. We spend a lot of good money for proper production, and for you to not even have the sense, sir, to plug in the actual equipment. It's just a plug, bro. Like, what did you go to school for?
Where are you looking so I can look at the same spot?
Right, that dude right there.
Right. Yeah, you.
Looking at the man in the mirror. Oops.
That was so corny.
Yeah. That's me.
That was horrible. Oh my God. Wow. Anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, my son is doing very well. We are working on full conversations and trying to get him to focus in and have that back and forth. I'm also working on communicating to him how he can, or I'm working on his communication of his feelings so that when he's upset about something, I understand what he's saying. Because right now he's speaking in TV lines and movie lines. And I don't necessarily, like, I may know the movie, but I don't know how he correlates that to what's going on in his head or what's going on in the room. So giving him those, I'm helping to give him those tools to communicate that. And also, finding ways to correct him, like discipline, but not discipline. But just correct him, or when he's doing something wrong. I can't talk to him like I talk to my neurotypical children, So it's a constant learning experience, and I'm thankful that I am as strong as I am because I know that and I have access to what I have access to because I know that there are parents who not only, are struggling with the diagnosis of something like this, but also are struggling with trying to figure out how to manage it or how to go about getting their children help. So, it's just something that we're constantly going to be learning about.
We're going to make sure that we find somebody before this month is open or over who is sort of an expert in working with autistic children, because I have worked with that population in a lot of different ways. And it's obviously wildly different from me because number one, I'm not a day-to-day classroom teacher. It's me popping in and out for just, an hour, 2 hours at a time in a very in a very not random, but it's just not anywhere near as much time.
Yeah.
And as I'm thinking about it, I really do have just questions about how one should manage those differences, because the things that I'm asking, I'm sure it's something that you're grappling with is like, that line between, okay, you want to try to make the child be able to speak in complete sentences, which is trying to make them more typical, but you still have to accept the child for who they are.
Yeah.
And like walking that balance and knowing what you can and can't do and what you shouldn't do is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I guess, okay, I'm going to give you kind of a funny story. I remember being at a certain school working, doing some music stuff. And I started out the day with just everyone grabbed a percussion instrument and we were going to just start keeping a steady beat. And within 2 claps of the steady beat, one child literally stood up, screamed, and sprinted out the door, right? And so that isn't a normal response to that, or a typical response to that behavior, right? And that kid it's okay for him to do what he did, right? That's his response, and you have to accept that. But like, how much do we adjust to that? You know what I'm saying? It's
and
really
it is difficult. Like even in my house, we're a house of musicians. My son loves music. He loves to sing. He loves instruments. But there are times where some things are just too much. So it's trying to gauge what is too much and what isn't, and then how to help him in those moments where things are too much. He does have, we're still figuring out his sensory things. It's not just about hearing, like touch. He loves soft things. He loves his full body covered. He likes certain sounds. He likes to grind his teeth, like that sensation. So trying to find ways to soothe those, I guess, cravings or those needs, those sensory moments. Like the grinding the teeth is bad. So what can I do to help him get that same sensation, but without it harming him? So it's a constant learning process. And you're right. I don't want to make him normal. I want him to just be able to communicate with people. And but still be comfortable with who he is, because that's it. He is who he is. And I love him for that. And people need to understand that. But he still needs to be able to say, I'm hurt. I'm overwhelmed. I love you. I'm happy. So even if it's just those couple words, great.
And what I find interesting about that is you have to teach all people to say that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with boys. And so that's the kind of question that I would want to ask an expert. It's like, okay, I have to teach my son and my daughter to be like, okay, instead of just slamming your car into the, wall saying that you're angry, you got to be like, yo, I'm angry. But I guess it takes more effort maybe to get that out of your child, or not. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Because, and I'm also thinking to myself, like, I wonder how much of I wonder how much effort needs to be made on the parent or the person working with the autistic child to think outside of their box, because
a lot.
We're geared to think a certain way. Like, why would you do that?
Listen, it literally, like that right there, that phrase, why would you do that? We literally have, like this morning, Ishmael said to, I don't know if it was Yar or Journey, but Sun did something, and one of them said, why would you do that? And Big Ishmael had to say, don't say that. correct him, but don't ask him that, because in his mind it's one way, in your mind it's another way, and it doesn't necessarily mean that he's doing something to hurt you or harm you or do it on purpose. It just might be what he computes or processes as something that's okay. So a lot of the last few months since I've been home, really, like, because I've had dedicated time with them, it has been me rewiring how I speak to my son and how I speak to people in general, because we don't think about how simple words are or can be. Sometimes we complicate things, and sometimes we speak too simply.
But so, okay, let's go with this. This is actually really interesting to me. So, right, I think that you're comfortable saying this. Like, so I yell at my kids. There are times when they get it and they deserve it, right? Like, there are times when I yell at my son, my daughter, and sometimes it's deserved, and I'm not going to say that I shouldn't have. Sometimes I do yell too much. But as an example, I'm a little bit more cautious when I'm yelling at my daughter, because she takes it not very, but differently. Like, she really, in as much as it might be deserved, she takes it a little more harshly.
So your child.
And so I feel like it's a similar thing. Like, sometimes, like, you listen, if you just threw a glass of water all over the place and, smacked somebody, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
But maybe you have to be a little bit more careful with Ish,
That's here. So here we are. This is where we are.
This is the puzzle, right?
This is where we are right now, because he's 5. We're trying to decipher what is 5 and what is autism. And so my son, if
he's smart.
He's let me tell you something. He is smart as hell. So he knows for a fact he is not allowed to watch YouTube. He knows that.
Oh, he got me good.
Oh, I know. So what he does is he knows where we hide the remotes. So if I'm downstairs doing the dishes and Big Ish is whatever, Son will grab something to get the remote, turn it on, and he will close and lock his door. And then or if he gets caught getting the remote, he'll drop it and go, I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, you about to get these hands, like, because he knows. But then when it comes to sharing, he's learning how to socialize. Like, so with his sister, it's different, because that's his twin. Like, they were created together.
Way. Right.
With other children, learning how to share is really difficult for him, because if it's his toy, it's his toy, and he likes that toy for very specific reasons, right?
But my kid is also struggling with sharing. And so that's such that's kind of my point. Is,
but
like,
him
is this
communicating that he is upset that you want to share with him is the problem. He doesn't know how to say, I don't want to share.
So it takes more effort to pull that out of
shit out of you.
Right.
So I gotta be like, use your words, sir.
And then you still have to be like, I understand why you slapped him, but it's not okay to slap.
And I say to him, I have to. The thing about children is that with Black families, I feel like we forget that we are the authoritative. You gonna do what I say I do, and you better not ask no questions. The best way to truly teach your child about communication and compassion is to also understand that they have opinions and they have feelings that they need to get out. So I'm learning how to, please tell me how you feel. How did that make you feel? And how can we redirect that feeling? How can we change how you're feeling? And how do you think they felt when you did this? So communicating that to him, like, do you like when you get pushed by Jacob? No. So when you push Yara, that's how she feels.
And
So
I have the same conversation with my kids. But
it's like you got to keep reiterating it to them so that they keep it locked in their mind. The one thing that I really love is that Ishmael taught them very early patience
Sure.
and respect. The
Mhm.
definition. So he would say, what does patience mean? And what does respect mean? And they would recite it just like that. And over time, like they started that when they were like 3. Over time, it really stuck. And now
Mhm.
they're getting it. So when we say, can you be patient? Patience is when you wait for what you want. And so they'll wait,
Mhm.
you know? So it's just really, with neurotypical kids, you typically can just say things and they get it.
What? Who's?
Sometimes.
I'm playing. You see the point that I'm trying to
Yes,
make?
no, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's maybe
Yeah.
it's just like it's more effort.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you tell me if I'm wrong, obviously, that a lot of the difficulty from your end is, like you said already, determining what is the autism
Yeah.
versus what is his personality naturally,
Right.
versus is this a 5-6-year-old problem?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a hard thing to manage. Yeah.
So, and also I want to give this little tidbit for parents who are just getting a diagnosis, who are thinking about getting their child evaluated, who are in the midst of it. It is okay to have moments of, this isn't true. To have those moments where you're in denial. It is okay to mourn the thought that you don't have the child you thought you had. It is okay to have those feelings because they're normal, right? Like, you had a child, you thought they were going to be clean, clear as a whistle with health and mental and all that. And then you find out something is not what it seems, or is not what you thought it was going to be. And this is for not just, autism. This could be for anything that goes on in your child's life as they're growing. Just know that those feelings are normal, and you can have them and you can express them. Get it out so that you don't have this constant feeling of depression, regret, anxiety, all the things that you would feel, because I had them. I was like blaming myself. I was blaming my husband. I was like, what is going on? What did I do to him? Until I looked at my child and I said, you know what? My baby is perfectly fine. My little space cadet is the best astronaut in the world. And I love him for who he is and who he's going to be. And I'm going to raise him just like I'm going to raise my other children, to be kind to him, to the people around him, the world, and to himself. So if you need, any reassurance that you're going the right direction, here it is. You're good. And now when you have that moment, move on to then finding a support group, finding, a therapist at school, a teacher at school who has some expertise in, autism or disabilities and things like that. Talk to the school counselor. You're not alone. There are plenty of people out here who have experienced this type of transition in their life, or who, have dealt with it at home, or who may be autistic themselves. You never know. But you are not alone at all. And there are plenty of people out there who are willing to help. So happy Autism Awareness Month. I love my son. He is amazing. I love all of my children. And shout out to all the parents out there who are in the struggle, but are coming out of it. Yeah.
I should have put that like that. None of this is in the show description. Like, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So I have flowers for Dr. Santana.
That's it on my end.
Okay. And the teachers and educators and everyone who was a part of curating and creating this wonderful event that we attended yesterday for National Sorority of Phi Delta Kappa Incorporated, the Row chapter in Wilmington, Delaware. It was absolutely amazing. Not only was I educated on inclusivity and diversity in education, which we talk a lot about, unknowingly, it's just kind of something we do. But also, I got to see the most incredible performance of my lifetime and was able to exchange information with this woman, and like had my own come to Jesus like moment in the parking lot.
You've gone so far off. People are so confused right now by what you're saying.
Listen.
So let's pull it back a little bit. Dr. Santana invited us, really, I think months ago, to the event that Naz just described.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was, the flyer, it was completely accurate in terms of...
The Teacherama.
Yeah, the Teacherama. But, like, I think unfairly, and as someone who has worked in education for my entire adult life, not as a classroom teacher, but just working with kids in a school setting, you automatically are like, okay, I know I should be here, you know, because it's education. And, you know, Naj and I talk about, you know, a lot of these issues on our show. So we're like, all right, we have an obligation to be there. But you're always a little bit like, man, I hope this isn't like 1 3-hour professional development day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where it's just kind of boring and there are charts and there are, you know, just very, it could very easily have been a very dry sort of academic occasion.
Right.
And it was the opposite.
Yeah.
Even down to the MC. The MC was clearly as church bred as you could be. And as soon as she got on the microphone, I was like, oh, I am locked into this. I feel home.
Right.
And I know this is about education, but like this is going to be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
So she literally set the tone properly.
Yes, she did.
And I want to encourage you guys to honestly go back.
I think it was Sade.
Yes. So please go back to our page and just see the couple of interviews. Well, actually, the bunch of interviews that we had before the event started.
Yeah.
And make sure that you watch the performance by Ayanna Gregory. And so after the MC comes up, you know, there's
a lot of political stuff. The political people who come, you have to acknowledge them. What do they call them? The dignitaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So after that, I wish I knew the lady's name, but a woman came up and did like a half-hour presentation.
Oh gosh, she was amazing.
And it was amazing.
And she was from Philly.
And it could have very easily been like a professional development where you're bored and it's like charts.
She schooled us.
And
she schooled us, like the cool school with the K.
And she not only she schooled us and really educated us, because I think was a nurse too.
Yes.
And she was explaining to us about the importance of inclusion that we all understand, but when someone brings it to you directly, where it's like, she said, okay, this is her experience with nursing school. And she put up 3 significant Caucasian nurses who were always put front and center when you go to nursing school per her experience. And her point was that, listen, these 3 women are awesome.
Yes.
We're not taking anything away from them. However, there are these 3 other women who are Black who are equally significant.
Right.
And by having them present, it makes more people welcome to a field that is really important.
Can do that.
And that they belong.
Yeah.
Not only that you can, but that you belong there.
Right.
And it's so significant.
That belonging. That's what it's about. And I was thinking about this last night because that is a theme right now, you know, with the cancellation and the firing and the defunding of DEI, right? All around the country.
And I love, one of the comments that was made specifically about DEI is that that's a political thing.
Yes.
And we're not trying to, like, DEI matters, okay?
Yes, it does.
But we're stepping outside of politics and addressing this with a different term. We're basically talking about belonging.
Yes.
Because everyone belongs.
Everyone deserves to feel like they belong. And here's the thing. There's a set of people who don't get it at all why we need to talk about Black history, why we need to talk about Latin history, about Jewish history, about
Asian history.
There are people there's a group of people who really feel like we don't need to know about that. It's not a big deal. And we don't need to have, you know, this representation. Like, it's doctors are doctors, nurses are nurses, teachers. So here's the thing. What happens when that group of people goes into a Black church? What's the first thing they do? And they feel awkward.
Yeah.
That's what we feel on a regular basis.
And when I go into a white church, I need to understand that I might feel like I need to go to sleep.
What they feel whenever you go into an ethnic setting and you feel uncomfortable because you don't understand, you don't feel like you belong, That is what people of color feel every single time, every single day in this world, in this country. So it's not about throwing out who you are. You know,
it's making room for more people.
Okay, great. It's making room to show that the person, the Indian girl sitting next to you who just got here from India, feels included and belongs in that classroom next to the white child who has learned about their German history and has a picture of someone from Russia or wherever. Like,
and the other part of it is there's so many different layers to this. From my end, yes.
Because representation matters.
But it matters. So okay, if we go black and white, all right, fine. Number one, you know, I want my story told, right?
Yeah.
But I want to include all of the different cultures, indigenous, Asian, whatever, because that's a wider education for my child.
Yeah.
I want my child who is African American and Caucasian to also have significant understanding of Indian culture.
Right.
I want them to understand that because it's good for their brain. It's good for their experience. It's good. Like, you don't eat just one kind of food. You don't only eat bread. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we want our children to experience everything. I want my children to know about Mexican culture. I want them to know about all of these things. So it's not only about them having representation of themselves, but also about being exposed to more.
Right.
Yeah, it's all of those things, and it's really important.
Yes. So I'm just sending flowers to those lovely women who curated this event and invited us. Thank you, Dr. Santana. We were truly moved. Truly moved. And Ayanna Gregory.
Just please dig in all the way.
Ayanna Gregory.
Dig all the way
in. So she's wearing like an African garb, two-piece set. Beautiful. And I believe she has locks.
For sure.
And so she's walking around the venue, and I had no idea who she was. You know, I just noticed what she was wearing. Y'all know I love me a good outfit.
Right. She just looked like another participant.
Right. They introduced her, and from the freaking gate, she comes out singing, and not a little whisper, not like an introductory note. No, this woman comes out singing from her gut.
With that Jasmine Sullivan rasp.
Oh my, and like the way she was, it was like it was so fluid. Her voice was so fluid. And there was like no, like sometimes you hear singers and there's like a kink.
If I didn't know, I'm like either all I heard was Kojic Church, despite,
listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I was in awe from the moment she began. And then, so she started with Nina Simone, Birds flying down,
feeling good.
You feel good.
And I'm still like, okay, what is this? She's locked in, and I'm like,
I'm in.
I'm like, okay, you have my attention.
Like this.
Yeah, I'm like moving the camera, trying to get situated. I'm not locked in, but I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. All right, cool.
So she starts with the song and then goes into like a poem.
Yeah.
And then a speech. And then in the speech, she's singing, and then she comes out into a rap.
And like a really formal speech.
Yes. And then comes out into a rap a cappella. Then starts singing again. Then has us meditating.
And praying. And praying.
And then sings again. And she's moving, like the way her body's moving is fluid. And
it was a psychedelic experience.
I'm telling you.
You know how when you like watch like psychedelic stuff on your screensaver and it changes and and it's all smooth, it's seamless.
I'm telling you.
Never in my life have I seen something like that before.
I have never so been in like, even when I went to, y'all know I love Diana Ross, and me and my mom had like great seats. I was more locked in with this woman than I was with Diana Ross.
And one of the things that I'm thinking about now, specifically regarding her presentation, was that if anyone had said, like, as a child, we're talking about, you know, like, what I want to do is, when I grow up, I want to stand in front of people and I want to give spoken word speeches, sing.
We'd be like, okay.
Educators would be like, listen, honey.
Let's take a step.
Let's do one thing at a time. You're either going to be this, or you're going to be that, or you're going to be this, or you're going to be that. You can't do it all.
Listen.
I'll be damned.
She did it all, and within 20 minutes.
Yes.
Oh, and here's the other thing. I don't even think, we didn't even talk about this yesterday. She did it with tracks.
And for all you people who perform over tracks and don't do it well, the bar has been set.
And the tracks were on a loop. The tracks were on a loop. And she was telling the DJ, play that next track. That
Listen.
didn't even register to me. When people play with tracks, even with myself, it drives me crazy because then I have to think, because I like to freestyle within my music. The tracks limit that for me.
Not for her.
No, child.
It was honestly one step away from, it was like maybe 1 to 2 steps away from like a goddess descending, you know, from the clouds, just settling in the space, doing her thing, and then reascending. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she had us doing affirmations. And so here's the thing. The affirmations, the boatload of affirmations came at the end, right? And some people like, you know, it's corny. Like, let me tell you something. Yes, right? The affirmations, I started to develop a knot in my throat and like this pressure in my chest. And I was like, I don't know what's going on because we haven't eaten yet. But for some reason, and I don't know if it's the salad or what, but something ain't right. And things is welling up. She got done her performance. She was at the table behind me. I went, grabbed my phone. I knew everything I was going to say. I sat down, looked her in the eyes, and boo-hooed. I'm ugly cry.
And I busted my camera out so quick.
Ugly cry. Okay? And just sobbed in this woman's arms, and she just held me.
And I'm here like this. Click, 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 click.
She held me. I'm a 32-year-old woman. Let me show you this picture. I got to show you this picture.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wish you could, if you could send it to me earlier. You're gonna lose focus. I don't think we should do that.
Oh,
well, fine. That's fine. That's fine.
That was me, ugly crying in this woman's arms because I couldn't keep it together. I could not. It was incredible. And the message, and she was like, in my head, I was her. Like she was the woman in my head that was in person, like the physical form of the woman in my head. Like everything that I would want to be as an artist, she was in physical form. And I was like, this is insane.
So another significant thing that I took from her, and this isn't to really...
You got to go watch it on our page.
And it's not going to give you the same vibe because you weren't there. But it's... there are a lot of people who will tell you that, you know, God is inside of me and I'm a God and all that kind of stuff. And like, you know, they talk about spirituality and I'm going to be told 9 times out of 10, I'm like,
it's hard to believe a lot of people.
Yes.
It's hard to believe a lot of people.
But it's like, this is the difference. And I'm going to give it to you this way. Anyone can sing a blues scale and sing bluesy riffs.
Right.
But only special singers are actually communicating a real expression through those notes.
Right.
Aretha Franklin versus Christina Aguilera.
Ciao.
She's running, Christina. She can run with the best of them. But there's not this in it.
There was an anointing.
Yes.
There was an anointing.
And when it's there, you can't miss it. Because if you got me doing affirmations, you're doing something. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm like, okay, I feel great about myself.
Right.
I'm wonderful.
Nah, she had me.
I'm like, I'm wonderful. I'm great too.
I'm enough.
This is passing. I am me now. The storm is gone. I'm like, the storm is gone. Yep.
I don't know where she came from.
There. The eclipse delivered her.
Look, if she started floating, I would have been right there with her.
I'm telling you, the reason we have an eclipse. No, I figured it out just now, Naj. She is the moon goddess, and she dragged the moon past us yesterday, but they're still catching up. So she pulled it on past, and the eclipse is happening because Ayana came through.
Listen.
Yep. There you go.
I said to her after I finished sobbing.
She didn't say nothing.
After I finished sobbing and wiped my nose, I said to her, "Where do you live?"
I'm what a creep. Right? Can you imagine from her perspective, this little light-skinned lady just walks up to you, starts crying, and then asks you where I live. I mean, get away from me.
Listen, I said, where do you live? She says, DC. I
None
said,
of your business.
I'm coming to DC, and
No,
I'm
you're
going
not.
to buy you dinner
No.
or lunch or whatever you want so that I can speak to you. I was like, that was incredible.
And at that point, security stepped in,
Right,
and she was
right,
whisked away.
Listen, every note she sang.
To be clear, this is Dick Gregory's child.
Yes.
We didn't say that.
Yes.
And Dick Gregory is one of my heroes and a lot of people's heroes. So it's no, the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yes.
But it was a really special performance, and I am as jaded as they come. I am ready to be like, yeah, it was all right. No, she was special.
I can only imagine.
So thank you, Dr. Santana.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And it's so funny because when we were leaving, Dr. Santana said, you and Ayana need to meet. And I said, oh, I talked to her. She was like, okay, good. I was like, I got her number. She was like, good, because if you didn't, I was going to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, I was so moved. I was so moved. And as y'all know, me and Jay are on a constant journey of figuring out who we are musically and where we want to go and trying to build on, our life as musicians. And yesterday gave me a real look inside of, a look into who I want to be.
Nigga, I saw God. Straight up.
Listen.
I was like, oh, hi.
I was in awe.
Yeah.
Real quick. Hi, Miles. He said he's watching all the way from Abu Dhabi Jazz Bar.
What's up? That's what's up.
Hey.
Yeah.
So yeah, yesterday was just amazing. So thank you again. Oh, God, going back over that just filled my spirit. All right. Also,
we talked about these two things for 45 minutes. It's
we really
hysterical.
did.
Yeah.
Iz Boletto, with the powwow, we love you. You are a pillar in this community. You continue to work towards building up our people and bringing us together. So thank you for that. We love you. Nataki, you already know what it is. We love you. We had our photo shoot there. You're going to see the pictures soon. But also
Let's talk about Shantae. Okay.
We love you, Nataki. Sam Wilson, you already know. Sam, bro.
Split
we
faces.
thank you.
Split faces.
Y'all
Rapper,
gonna see,
photographer
y'all
extraordinaire.
gonna see the debut, baby. The debut. Shantae. She had her opening art exhibition at the Soul Firm, and it was gorgeous. She had a great turnout. She looked gorgeous. Oh, hold on. I got to show you this picture.
Can't you send? Okay,
I'm sorry.
No. Text them to me. I'm going to put them on the screen properly.
Okay.
I can do that.
So he's going to text.
Just keep
I'm
talking.
going to text him. But she looked phenomenal. Her artwork was phenomenal. She's already sold some. So if you would like some artwork, you need to go and get it now because it's going to sell out. Talk
about the whole experience while you send them to me.
Her use of color, her use of shapes, like it's so fluid. I like that word today, obviously. And these were all things that she has gone through. This was her story. So this was her
story. This is my song. Go ahead.
Oh God.
I
forgot what I was gonna say because that really like
I threw you off completely.
You did.
I did that on purpose, by the way.
But she worked really hard at this, and here's the thing: she's due to have her baby this week, and she did all this.
First off the bat,
okay.
There's ugly cry.
Oh, that's the ugly cry.
Right.
That's the ugly cry.
All right. But let me go to Shantae.
Oh my God.
All right. That's her in that outfit. That outfit is really dope, and I'm not normally like that.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire.
So she looks great. And
Man.
The baby's really when we're thinking today or no Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah.
I'll let y'all know. But this is her first baby. Her and Perry, congratulations. We love y'all so much. It's going to be an amazing ride.
Yeah.
But the art exhibition was absolutely beautiful, and I'm really happy for her because she's worked so hard. She's been consistent, and this comes at a time of transition in her life. Like a lot of our people.
Big transition, the most major transitions you can have.
So the fact that, and she thought she was just, I talked to her right before we got on the show, and she goes, I thought that this was in March. She was like, it's in April and I'm doing April. How I'm gonna do it? Listen, there's just some people who are divinely guided. And this was one of those divinely guided moments.
And I'll say this. No, I'll say two things. Not just divinely guided, but disciplined. And we've had this conversation a lot. Like, you know, you don't always feel inspired and whatever. I'm sure she wasn't. You know, when you're in that third trimester as a man, you know, I understand that women are like, that's like, listen, you're just tired.
Listen, okay.
And so for her to continue to grind through that is like, that also shows a significant amount of discipline as an artist. And I really respect that.
Yeah.
As someone who is still learning and educating himself about the visual arts and is really developing a sincere interest, I still have the attention span of a 5-year-old when it comes to most things. And when I walk in, you know, most of the time a painting can capture my attention. You know, if I stand there for a minute, you've done really, really well with me. I stood in front of each of her paintings for a significant amount of time because I really was trying to see everything that was present. I was trying to understand everything that was present. And she did a really good job of taking someone who has the attention span of a 5-year-old and making them lock in to each one. So that in itself, you know, you reeled in the kindergarten kid. And that's a significant accomplishment. And they were all different, but within the same theme. And I can certainly appreciate that too.
I told her she needs to get t-shirts because I would wear the heck out of them. Like every single one I would have an outfit for. I'll buy sneakers for every single one.
Quite frankly, when you say that, she'd probably be really dope at designing clothes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
She did. Her cousin, she had a piece that she did, and her cousin made like a jumpsuit or a tights outfit. And I was like, I need that. But Shantae, just in general, like her overall style, like the way she dresses, the way she dresses, her use of color in life just is it's always been so vibrant and just in your face.
It really reminds me of myself a lot, the way that I dress. I really felt like, you know, like we're kind of like spiritually connected in terms of how we present ourselves in public.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
I feel like you just said the F word.
I just, you know.
What is wrong with you? I'm disgusted.
It's like that. That's me. If I was
that's me. But congratulations, Shantae, double. Because this is a big time for you right now. So
literally and figuratively.
Oh my God, yeah. But sending you love.
And listen, good brother Perry, if you happen to see it, if you happen to see the show, you're gonna be all right.
Breathe.
You know what I'm saying?
Breathe.
Like, and you got to breathe so you can tell her to breathe. You know what I'm saying?
Remember what I said, lock in.
Yeah, you got the easy job, good brother. You know what I'm saying? So pull it together, you know, gather your nerves, treat it just like, you know, sometimes we get nerves when we get on the stage fright, right? Same process.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, lock yourself in, and your job is to be the rock. You know what I'm saying, good brother?
The pillar, the rock,
you're the pillar.
Foundation.
The 3 days, you know, between now and Friday, you're going to be on high. Then you're going to crash.
Yep.
But then you're going to be a man.
You're going to be great.
And you're going to be great.
You're going to be a daddy. You're going to be somebody's daddy. And then also, last but not least, Joe Redbird and Elize, they had their opening exhibition at Chris White Gallery. Congratulations to you both. We're definitely, I'm going to call, Mama Joe, I'm going to call you so we can get an exclusive. Erica, you already know, girl, we love you. So flowers to all of our peoples. We love y'all so much. We really don't have time to do everything, so I'm just going to jump.
We've been talking for an hour. You realize that?
I know, it's ridiculous.
Pick something, you know.
So real quick, I just want to say, me and Jay are going to do a songwriting challenge.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Yeah. So should we start in May, or you want to start this month?
I need to start in May.
Okay.
Like this, it's already halfway through the month, and this month is
somebody
pure
remember
insanity.
this. Somebody remember this for May, but we're gonna do a song a day.
Yeah, and I think we should maybe try to get other people involved. You know what I'm saying?
So what we'll do is we'll
May
make a
is
video.
songwriting challenge month.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So this is just to get the juices flowing. We got a lot of talented people out here, and sometimes we get a little stagnant, so we got to push through.
And don't be. And see, go ahead.
What you say? What you say about just getting it done? What's that phrase you always say?
Done?
No.
I don't know.
You always say something. I don't know, but
I don't know.
We want y'all to join in with us, whether you're a songwriter or not. Let's just try it. But this is the time, so we're gonna do. A song
understand why you always want to present yourself in the best light possible, and she'll really kind of be a stinker with me sometimes. I'm like, you know what? Today's gonna not be good, and that's okay. This is that place to like not be afraid to do something that's not perfect.
Yeah.
And just be in a flow state. Yeah. Say something, and it might be awful, corny, but just get it on paper and get in that flow state.
And here's the thing: there's no cap on how you can do it. So you can use a YouTube beat. You can use a piano, guitar. You can write over a song that's already got an instrumental. Just write your own words and come up with something. I haven't decided if we're gonna do a post it every day or what, but we gotta figure something out to keep each other accountable. So if y'all have ideas,
I feel like in as much as you're not going to be able to maybe put together a full production, maybe you can, but like I feel like if you have the lyrics and the melody that you have to be like, yo, this is my song, and just sing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe we should have some incentive.
I don't know.
Let's figure it out. I'll come up with something. I am the mastermind of these things.
Your head's not big enough to have a mastermind.
All right. Anyway, real quick, my Aunt Crystal said, you experience a version of who you want to be because representation matters. That's right. That's right. That's regarding Ayana.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Just putting that up so you knew. All right. Beyonce's album came out. It's not a country album, like she said. I'm gonna have to listen to it again. I can't give you my full opinion. Off the bat, it's not her best for me. Like this didn't speak to me like Lemonade did. Or even Renaissance was fun. But Lemonade for me and 4 were the top tier. Nothing has gone above that. I love that she was very inclusive in this. I love that she is vocally, I feel like this is the best I've ever heard her. Ever. She was doing things vocally that I've never heard from her. And I'm really excited to see if she goes deeper into that. But I still need to analyze it a little bit more because I had thoughts, but I don't want to completely share them because I feel like I need to really dig a bit deeper.
I have a version of Blackbird that I just put online. Yes, if you'd like to go see it, go check it out.
He played guitar, and then he scooted off in his bike with his little fire pit going. It would have been really good if you sat on a stump of wood versus the chair.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so go check out Jay's video. And also, we would like to speak to the person in Delaware who won the $1 million and $150,000 in the Powerball. I just want to have a conversation. Just want to know what you did.
Can I get those donations?
If you have any idea who that person is, just go ahead and inbox me. Just let me know.
Can I get those donations?
What they're gonna do with the money if they're not sure. We take investments. Just want to put that out there. All right, that's it because we have this
what a day.
eclipse has really just done some things. Okay. Yeah. And it is what it is. You just go with the flow. So we love you for watching. Go out and have some fun. There's a lot of events. Go on Eventbrite and type in Wilmington, Delaware, just Delaware. And there are tons of events that you can attend. Go to the powwow this Saturday and we will see you next week. We love you for watching. Bye. Oh, look at the hearts.
I don't even know why that happened.
Oh my God. Oh!